I'm going to show you the most incredible LinkedIn automation software on the market right now, Prosp. I may have some bias here, but my goal is to show you all the features it has and the process from start to finish of finding leads, sending them personalized messages, and booking calls. There's some features that I'm going to show you today that you haven't seen in any other tool and you might not even know exist, and that's why I want to show you all of them so you can utilize them to book a ton of calls on LinkedIn. We're going to build a campaign from scratch, find qualified leads from multiple sources. We're going to build a fully automated sequence that uses AI to send personalized messages and voice notes to improve our reply rates, all within the platform. So no more talking, let's get stuck into it. Step one is to head over to prosp.ai and create an account. You can get a free 14-day trial by just clicking try for free in the top right-hand side. Once you've created an account and connected your LinkedIn profile, you'll be in the main dashboard area here. The first thing to do is to head over to the campaigns tab on the left-hand side, and this is where we're going to build out all of our outreach campaigns. You're actually going to see that there's already one in there for you to make this super simple. If you want to create your own, you can start from a template or you can create from scratch. That's what we're going to do today so you can see the entire process. So there's really only two parts to this: finding leads to reach out to and then actually reaching out to them. On screen here, you're going to see all of the different ways you can find leads on Prosp. You can import members of a group on LinkedIn, attendees of an event, and you can even import anyone liking or commenting on a particular LinkedIn post. This is a pretty unique feature and works an absolute charm for sending lead magnets and even stealing your competitors' leads. Of course, I can import contacts from a CSV, if that's Clay or Apollo or anywhere else really. All I need is the LinkedIn profile URL. You can also import from free LinkedIn search or Sales Navigator. All you have to do is build the list inside LinkedIn, copy the URL in here, and let Prosp handle absolutely everything else. Let's say I reach out to small web design agency founders. I can use all these filters on the left-hand side here to make a super targeted list of my ICP. I could select second and third level connections to reach out to new people. In this case, we're going to say I only want self-employed founders or 1 to 10 headcount teams. Instead of the industry, I'm going to actually use a keyword at the top here, and I'm going to go with website design agency. Let's go with anyone in Europe that speaks English. Maybe I want them to have posted on LinkedIn to indicate they're a little more active. Once I'm happy with my filters, I can just hit preview, and you see that's going to build a list of over 400 leads all within my ICP. I can even go and look at their profile on LinkedIn and then refine my filters if I need to. Let's grab 100, and now it's time for the fun part. So we found our list of leads, and now it's time to actually reach out to them. Of course, we don't have time to go through that entire list and send them personalized messages, so we're going to use AI to do that completely for us. I'm going to visit their profile and even like their most recent post before sending them a connection request. Now, they're going to be notified of this, so when I do send my requests, I look a little more familiar and more people will accept that request. Now, after they accept that request, this is where it gets pretty special. I'm going to send them a message, but not just a generic message that you can send with every other tool that really just pisses people off. Instead, we're going to use AI to send a hyper-personalized message based on their profile and their recent activity. So I'm actually going to reference their specific focus within that field using an AI prompt. Now, this AI is trained on my voice with situational context and their entire LinkedIn profile. I'm talking about their headline, their about section, their company description, and even their most recent post. So when I click preview, instead of just some generic message like, hey, I saw you're probably doing something to do with web design, I can actually say something as specific as, hey Rob, love the HubSpot CMS approach. Haven't really seen that one before. And then I'm actually using my own copy to steer the conversation. So then I say, what pixel tech do you guys use? And then I'm leveraging the creativity and the personalization of the AI with my own copy to then guide the conversation. There is no other platform that can do this. And this is why I personally am getting over 25% response rates from my campaigns. But to be honest, that's not the only thing I'm doing to get these sorts of reply rates. There's a bit of a hidden gem on LinkedIn right now that are working insanely well and booking more calls than anything else. Yep, it's voice notes. So sales is all about building trust. And when someone can hear your voice, it escalates the trust beyond just the text and humanizes the whole conversation. We've tested this across thousands of campaigns, and we're seeing every single time that sequences with voice notes outperforming those without by around 10% in terms of your reply rates. I like to send a voice note right after my message, so it looks like it's been recorded just for them. I could say something like, oh, I hope you don't mind the voice note. Forgot to mention, we actually partner with web design agencies. We have this visitor tracking pixel, and we install it on your client sites. We do the implementation, and then we automate the outreach to the visitors of your client sites, so they get more leads, and then you get a bunch of commission. So yeah, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I thought some kind of partnership could make sense. Something like that is going to work really, really well. What it's done is it's removed the barrier between me and the lead, making them far more likely to actually want to have a conversation with me because they've heard my real human voice. And you might be thinking, well, what if I want to personalize the voice notes as well? And this is where it gets really insane. I can use the AI voice cloning feature to submit a sample of my voice and then have the AI clone it. Now I can use things like their first name, their company name, and even the AI prompts within the voice note itself, which is absolutely wild. I can then add follow-ups after scheduled delays to ensure I get as many replies as possible without having to worry about keeping track on spreadsheets. It's crucial to add value to your follow-ups so you aren't just badgering your leads. For example, you could send a resource that is specific and helpful to them, or mention a relevant case study. And now your sequence is completely set up. All you need to do is just hit run in the top right-hand side. So we've found our targeted list of leads, we've sent them personalized messages with AI, we've even followed up with voice notes, but how do we turn these conversations into booked calls? Well, with Prosp, there's a couple of things that are going to make that really, really simple. You're going to see this little inbox over on the left-hand side, and this is where you can track all of your responses. What I love is that when you're running multiple accounts, be that team members or client accounts, you don't have to jump in and out of different LinkedIn profiles. You can manage all your responses across these accounts in one place. Now, I absolutely love these two features up here. If you've run outbound before, you probably know how easy it is to forget to follow up. But if they've already replied, chances are they're a lot closer to conversion. So it's really important that you stay on top of it. And with reminders, I can just set a reminder as soon as I message someone to check in a few days. Or if now isn't the right time for them, but they want to check in down the line, I can just set a custom date. The other thing that I absolutely cannot live without is the snippets. This is where I can save templated responses like case studies, more information, or any links you find yourself referencing often. I always use this calendar link snippet so I don't have to go over to Calendly and then copy and paste it into Prosp every single time. Now you'll see we also have tags over here. So if you're someone like me and you like to stay organized, you can tag your leads based on things like what type of opportunity there is, what offer they're interested, and you can even tag leads from specific sequences automatically so you know where they've come from. Speaking of organization, you can also track leads throughout the entire sales cycle in Prosp's native CRM. I'll just head over to the Contacts tab and then change the viewport to the vertical stack, and then I can see where everyone is in the pipeline. Super useful. And if you want to integrate your own CRM or any other tool really, you have an API and webhooks so you can easily connect to platforms like Slack to notify your team or HubSpot to track your marketing efforts. You can also plug this into Zapier or Make.com for easy automation. Now with outbound on LinkedIn, the way you get really good is by tracking the success of your campaigns, making slight adjustments, and then continually refining your approach to improve. I can do this really easily using the dashboard analytics. Here I can track the number of requests being accepted, the number of messages being replied to, and even my daily engagements as well. You can create as many campaigns as you want to experiment with different approaches and then track them individually by filtering by campaign over here. And once you've nailed your strategy, it's time to scale it up. For example, if I send 100 connections a week and I book 5 calls, how do I book 20 calls a week? Well, the answer is send more connections. And how do I send more connections? And the answer to that is to use more accounts. I can do this really easily, all within the platform, by just adding accounts. If I head into account settings, I can just click add a LinkedIn account, and that means I can manage all the different accounts in one place, so I don't need a bunch of different subscriptions. Once you've connected your different accounts, you'll see them all in here, and your dashboard is going to look a little more like this. Down here in the right hand side, you'll see the chat widget, so if you need any help at all, you can speak with the team in there. You'll find a ton of resources, videos, tips and tricks, and everything you need to get started in the help section down here. You can also join our Slack channel using the link below in the description. We've got a great community, everyone really helps each other out. And if you want to use Prosp to automate your entire LinkedIn outreach and book a ton of calls, you can just head over to prosp.ai or use the link below in the description to get started with your 14-day free trial. I can't wait to see you in there.